What's wrong, Spider-Man?
My box office numbers just came in.
Oh, man.
I know. Look like an idiot.
Welcome to Last Call. My name is Shawn Proctor.
And I'm your friendly neighborhood Kevin Dragone.
Yes, absolutely. And we are reviewing the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Spoiler full.
Yeah, just...
Okay, so Andrew Garfield reprising his role as Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I think we're all in agreement. He's doing a pretty damn good job. I mean, he looks the part. He does the comedic parts, I guess, well. I don't know. I feel like...
Not really, because I was reading Archie comics after Free Comic Book Day, and there was a joke in there where Archie says, "Call me anything, just don't call me late for breakfast." Spider-Man needs to come up with some new material when he's cribbing off of Archie. I don't get it. Go away.
A lot of you fanboys who are a fan of this film seem to think what you like best about this movie is that that's your Spider-Man. That's the one from the comic books. The jokey hokey, wears a fireman hat and saves the day.
Wait, yeah. Fireman hat.
But
that was bad.
Some things just don't translate well. Seeing Spider-Man pull down somebody's pants as he apprehends them, that's corny, that's campy, that's Batman and Robin crap. We're over that. This is the dawn. This is after the Avengers existed. There is no reason why things need to be this campy. Spider-Man showing up, Peter Parker showing up for his graduation still wearing a mask. Yeah, that would fly in a Stan Lee comic in 1975, but this is 2014. The Dark Knight has existed. The Captain America 2 has existed. It's time to grow a set of pair and make a Spider-Man that I'm not shrugging the whole time.
My issue has to do with a lot of, just basically like Jamie Foxx, you could have done a lot better.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx, excellent actor, Oscar caliber. Playing a villain. Seems good. Film opens up.
Dubstep. Ah, that's a dubstep.
He has a comb over. If you're a nerd, you are the biggest nerd that ever nerd. If you are a Russian mobster, you have the most stereotypical look possible. Another actor who is Oscar caliber worthy, Paul Giamatti, who plays
Rhino.
I don't even know the
Russian mobster X, basically.
Here's his name, so we have some credibility. He is just
terrible.
I can't even believe what I am watching. He's one of my favorite actors, and like I can't believe he signed on for this. There are some performances that, other than Andrew Garfield, that do hold up and that are done really well. Everyone is agreement. Emma Stone is she's
very good. Yeah.
She is gorgeous. I've never really seen anything that she's done poorly. I mean, she knocks Gwen Stacy out of the park. Every scene that she has with our lead, Andrew Garfield, it's so engaging, it's so heartfelt, it's so wonderful. You're actually at a point when you're watching this where you're like, man, can't we just watch Peter Parker and Gwen, go at it and follow their love story? Do we really need this nonsense? So in this movie, we're introduced to another third villain, new character, played by Dane DeHaan, who you might know him from Chronicle, who plays a very similar character. Dane DeHaan plays Harry Osborn. And in this film, Norman Osborn, who we've always known to be the Green Goblin and Spider-Man's greatest foe, dies in the first 25 minutes.
Doesn't even put on a costume.
He's gone.
Go.
So now we're introduced to Harry Osborn. And he apparently has been friends with Peter in the past. And now he has a vendetta against Spider-Man, and
Sort of. He just wants Spider-Man's blood at first.
That's right. He has the same disease that Norman Osborn had.
None of the things in the movie want you to think about them. Don't think about why was he stealing uranium? I don't know. Why did this happen? I don't know. Why is Electro angry at Spider-Man? Who cares?
Everything is just like played by numbers, set up, resolution, set up, resolution. I mean, the film, there's parts of this film that could just completely drag on. I think we don't even see Spider-Man, and it's all Peter Parker pawning over Gwen Stacy for like a half an hour to 45 minutes. The second act is just, it's so unbearable and boring. But not everything about this movie was terrible. The third act is really where this film shines, and what you think is going to happen does happen. And yes, Green Goblin comes into the final act of the film, and we do get to see the fall of Gwen Stacy.
And if you watch it really closely, which I did, knowing I wanted to see whether she hit or snapped or whatever, it's pretty clear that they basically wanted it to be ambiguous enough that she sort of hit and snapped at the same time, so that you end up with this feeling like, well, you know, she could have been dead before she fell, and she could be dead when she hit the ground, or he could have snapped her back or neck when she hit.
It's from Weyerbacher, called The Blithering Idiot, because I would need about 4 of these to walk out of that movie satisfied.
I went with Delirium Nocturnum, which is a Belgian beer. This one I whipped out of the closet because of my feelings about The Amazing Spider-Man, the original, which was so boring. It took me 4 times of watching it to even vaguely remember the film.
So, how am I going to rank these movies? Okay, I'm going to say Spider-Man 2 is my number 1. As far as CGI, action sequences, and performances go, it's by far the best. It still holds up. I can watch this movie any day of the week. It's excellent. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1, also fantastic. Great origin story. It set the bar for other superhero films. Very well paced. Great action. Great origin story. Awesome. I will give it to Mark Webb. Amazing Spider-Man. Not that bad. I don't think this would have existed. I mean, the look and feel feels like it exists in the same world as Sam Raimi's. But that being said, we do get to see Spider-Man with web shooters and wisecracking, and the CGI is phenomenal. I'll give it that. Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing Spider 2 are pretty close. The level of camp, the cheese, the shaking my head. I mean, it's a close tie. I will give it to Amazing Spider-Man 2 because of the third act where we do have the death of Gwen Stacy. It was very well done. It was very sentimental. I didn't cry or get teary-eyed, but I was pretty impressed on how they delivered it. So that would probably put Spider-Man 3 as my least favorite.
The way I'd rank them is this. I'd go with Spider-Man 2 as the clear favorite. Spider-Man after that. Then I would... This is where it gets ugly. This isn't really even 1. That's Spider-Man 2.1. But, so, I would say that when you get down to it, I would put it ahead of these 2 films. I thought this was super boring. Super, super boring. This movie was just not good. It was a big misstep. There was a lot of problems. So I'd put it ahead of these 2 because there's enough in there that I can recommend for you that I would say that I feel like I can remember the movie, and I've seen it like about a week and a half ago. So ultimately that leaves me still at a 2 cap rating for that movie. How about you?
I guess if you were going to average all the elements and components with the action, special effects, and the final act of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 being 3 cap worthy, and the campiness and the corniness and the lameness being at 1, it's a 2. It's a low 2. I mean, if there was 1.5, I would give it to it, but I'm gonna be very generous. It's very, very average.
Thank you for watching. I'm Shawn Proctor.
I'm Spider-Man. I mean, Kevin Dragone.
Follow us, and we'll check you out again later. Cheers.
Go, Gwen, out of time.
I'm gonna get him.